Good morning, everyone. Don Cramer with the Cramer Group at Urban Realty. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021. This is our first Coffee with Cramer in the new year, episode 126. So cheers to you out there today. And for those tuning in, first time of the year and have not been to a Coffee with Cramer before, I'm Don Cramer with the Cramer Group at Urban Realty. And today, again, we always like to talk about on a Wednesday what's going on in the Las Vegas housing market. So as you know, our show is dedicated to real estate, lifestyle, and community. And as my good friend John Curtis likes to say, our humble little burg of Las Vegas. So again, on today's show, we like to go through the stats. So that way you've got a great sense of what's going on in Las Vegas housing, where inventory is at, and where we kind of think things are going to be trending out here for the next short period. So let's dive into the stats. If you're tuning in, again, do us a big favor, hit the like button. If you're joining us on one of the other platforms a little later, we do put these up on YouTube. Hit the like button. And also, too, we do post videos out quite a bit about what's going on in Vegas, about our listings, market, news, and information that helps you best on real estate. You can always hit the subscribe button there as well and ring the bell there for notifications. So that's if you're tuning in on the big boy there, YouTube. But if you're on Facebook, comment, like, just want to listen to a little stats and drink a little coffee or sip your morning beverage, shoot a little selfie, throw it up there. We'd love to have it up there as well. So let's dive in. Let's bring up the first slide there, shall we? So looking at this week of 1/4, January 4th, 2021, can you believe it? We have 3,305 active single-family homes on the market currently in the Las Vegas Valley. And that's down just under 200 homes, or 5.6%, from last week's number of 3,502. Of the 3,305 available for sale, 3,270 are traditional sales, 19 are short sales, and 16 are foreclosures. So not a big change in the non-traditional sale market. Now, if we take a quick look at under contracts, you'll notice that we're down about 5.3% from last week's number. So we were at 3,627 properties, single-family homes under contract, versus last week's number of 3,830. Of the 3,627, 3,516 are traditional, 95 are short sales, and foreclosures are 16. Median sold price looks to be holding steady at $345. We're going to have those stats confirmed here in the next day or so from the Las Vegas Realtors Association as they wrap up the stats in the books for 2020. But it looks like from what we're seeing data-wise, $345. So we actually sort of plateaued out. Now, the drop here, this is at our seasonal low. Now, when we did last week's check-in on housing, we were comparing it to a year ago, the end of 2019, going into 2020, and we were over 6,000 properties available for sale, and we didn't have quite as many under contract as either. So we're still continuing this trend of more houses under contract than available for sale, still showing strong demand even at the low point of our selling season. And now we are getting ready to start moving in the direction of our high point. So let's kind of take a look to see what changed over the last 7 days here. So we're going to throw that slide up. And as you can see, we had 378 new listings. We had, and also too, while that was going on, we had 136 back on the market, 160 price decreases, and then under contract show and under contract no show, 646. And then the last 7 days, we sold 612. So as you can see, we've got some number changes. We remember we had a month cutoff. We also had a year cutoff. So we're moving into we're going to see next week, first full week of the year, see if we start seeing a jump start in new listings. So that 378, that group of houses just went on the market just before the rest of the people finish putting the decorations away from the holidays and start deciding if they're going to sell in 2021. So the numbers again still show strong demand. As you can see, that 646 That's not quite 300 more than new listings. So again, that demand is still outpacing. And why? Interest rates are a big part of it too. People still have equity as a big part of it. We know we've got the unemployment number concerns, things of that nature, and then also to the third item, migration from more populous states with probably not as lower a tax burden, aka California. We are looking at an attractive situation. We've always been for that way with regards to California. It's just accelerated more so over the last year or two, especially this last year with COVID and everything. So again, last 7 days, even though we're at the low, that 646 under contract, that's a pretty healthy number for the last 2 weeks, the last week of the year. Now let's take a look here by price point and see what's happening. In price points here, you'll see as we go to the under 250 range, we have 340 homes available for under contract versus 296 available for sale. Then in the 250 to 500,000 segment, you see that's our big market there. 2,573 under contract as opposed to 1,859. That is a big difference there. Over 700 home difference between under contracts and for sales. The other item too have been kind of tracking here a bit of late is that 500,000 to 750 segment. 481 active listings with 441 under contract. So that under contract number is really creeping up there. I mean, it's about 90% of the total actives available for sale, approximately. And then in that mid-luxury segment, you'll see 240 homes available for sale with 132 under contract. In the million to 2 million price segment, 201 active listings for sale versus 97 under contract. And then the luxury top segment, 162 homes available for sale and 37 under contract. So again, very strong demand in that mid price, our core market segment. As you see, 345 is our median home price. That's sitting right there in between the 250 to 500,000 price range, just about. And it is really demand's outstripping supply. And two, we've been noticing this trend on that 500,000 to 750 segment, and that's a lot of that has to do too with interest rates low, people trading up, moving up, needing larger space. So we've been seeing that demand almost creep up here. I wouldn't be surprised in the next week or two that demand exceeds available supply there too in 500,000 to 750. Now, the last slide we want to throw up is sort of the weekly trend and what's been going on. We've been tracking that here for a few months. And as you can see, this just kind of gives you that visual sense of what's going on. So back in August through September, we were saying, hey, we got a healthy housing market. We've got supply out there, but it's moving quickly, and we got demand, and demand's still going there. And then come about late November, that supply just eroded, and demand was still staying ahead. And as we go to the bottom here, hopefully as we rebound, we'll start seeing those numbers shoot up. But just to give you a sense, we're going to need to be, in order to sort of grow our inventory, we're going to need to be pacing new homes on market at a rate we haven't done in quite a while, and while at the same time staying ahead of the demand for going into contract. So in the near term, we're probably going to still see low inventory levels, but hopefully these properties are coming on just in time while demand's going there. I sort of liken it to a fire in a fireplace. If you've got wood in the fire and you've got a good flame going, you're going to have a good, healthy, roaring fire. If you are not feeding that with fuel, in other words, more wood over time, well, those flames are going to start reducing and going to embers. So what we need to do is, if you're thinking about selling, right now is a great time because this is that little lull window, early part of the year where you can jump ahead before the spring while the demand's still hot. Now, come about late January, early February, that's when everyone, spring cleaning, okay, holidays are over, let's get going. Let's start putting our house on the market. Let's start kind of building that as to where we need to be. So this is a good little window if you want to sort of time the market, if that's what you're looking to do. Now, if you're on the buyer's side, interest rates are still low. I was with a good friend of mine, texting between a good friend of mine yesterday, and she was showing me a crazy rate just on a 15-year mortgage, well under 2%. So those interest rates are still historically low. They look like they're going to continue that way. And again, excuse me, they're going to continue on. The Fed is, federal government, the Fed has indicated strongly they're probably not going to raise rates anytime probably through this year, or they're at least going to take a wait and see. Additionally, too, vaccines are starting to roll out, so hopefully if that can keep pace, we can start seeing some changes in the hospitalizations and reopening numbers, which will be a good sign for our economy, especially here in Las Vegas, because that can turn around our situation in our hospitality and services industry, which have been the industry's hardest hit here in our Vegas Valley. But that's our housing market segments. Love to hear if you've got any questions or thoughts about the stats we've went through. Again, we're going to probably see in this near term low inventory and demand still being strong. And then as we start coming into this into the spring buying season, which is the big part, hopefully we can start adding some more housing stock onto there. If you have thoughts about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, do us a big favor. We'd love to talk to you. Set up a Zoom call, FaceTime call. If you're from out of state, happy to chat about it, go over some of the stats, kind of talk about what you're looking for, what you're looking to achieve in your home with regards to, specific amenities, features, locations, or if you're looking for investment property. Right now we're seeing a lot of people move some of their investment properties, doing 1031 exchanges, and happy to chat with you about that. Out of higher taxation states into places like Las Vegas, which have good affordability with regards to pricing, and even though with evictions and moratoriums going on, still have a strong demand for people needing to rent houses that have jobs, security, and are able to pay for those. So that's this week's Las Vegas housing market stats. This is episode 126 of Coffee with Cramer. So we appreciate you tuning in. Cheers to you. Hope everyone has a great day, and we'll catch up to you soon. So take care. Bye-bye.